Hello and welcome to The Frame. We begin this week with the ongoing discussions regarding Framingham Public Schools' budget for the 2027 fiscal year, as local education officials have said that possible staff cuts could be looming. After outlining their initial proposal of $198 million, which would be a raise of over $15 million compared to FY26, as well as their $190 million budget target towards the end of 2025, school leaders have been left with a roughly $8 million difference, one that school superintendent Dr. Robert Tremblay called quote-unquote significant during the Framingham School Committee's meeting last Wednesday, January 7th. For weeks, FPS has been considering the possibility of reducing staff to the tune of saving close to $7 million, though Executive Director of Finance and Operations for the local school district, Lincoln Lynch, said many other avenues are being explored to help close that gap, adding that cutting vacant positions would be prioritized. Lynch stressed the importance of informing people who may be affected by any staff reductions as soon as possible.
At this time, no staff have been alerted that their positions could be eliminated. We have had internal discussions only. So I do not think, and Dr. Tremblay, correct me if I'm wrong, that we're ready to provide the plan that we've come up with, because I think the right thing to do is talk to the people who it's going to affect and then bring it to you publicly.
Tremblay did note that both union and non-union bargaining units could be impacted by any staffing cuts. Some community members, including Framingham Teachers Association President Christine Mulroney, spoke out against any job cuts, urging local leaders to provide all funding necessary to benefit Framingham Public Schools.
We believe the school committee has a responsibility to put forward a budget that reflects what students actually need, not simply what fits within a predetermined funding target.
Due to the changes to the Framingham Home Rule Charter, the school budget process has been shifted up in the calendar. The school committee is expected to vote on their final budget request on February 4th. The group's next meeting is next Wednesday, January 21st. With 2 vacancies still open within the group, the Framingham Planning Board met on January 8th to reorganize at the start of the new year. Chair Ted Cosgrove was joined by Thomas Bowie, Mitchell Maturin, and Associate Member Elsiana Zaka at the Memorial Building that night. That meeting came following the arrest and eventual resignation of former Vice Chair Joe Norton, who was apprehended by local and state authorities on multiple child sex charges on December 18th. Maturin was chosen to be the group's new vice chair, while Zaka was appointed to represent the group within the Metro West Regional Collaborative, which is made up of 10 cities and towns in the region to address planning and policy topics. Once she goes through the appointment process, Zaka will become a full-time member of the group. As 2026 gets underway, both Cosgrove and Maturin said it's important for local leaders to be aligned on the planning board's purpose in order to best utilize the local planning office. The chair and vice chair added that the board will continue to make recommendations based on current zoning standards, as the city council is still the ultimate authority on any zoning changes.
We're not elected to promote an agenda. And that's what the planning board used to be. It's not anymore.
To the extent that the council changes the zoning or wants to think about that and sends it down to us for comment and recommendation, then that's what our role is. If not, then we will continue under the zoning as it exists until the council sees fit to change it.
There are plenty of more details on the top stories we've covered on the show this week and every week on our website, www.theframe.news. We've got full written articles there, along with full feature pieces completed across the city, and a calendar filled with upcoming community events. Be sure that you're subscribed to our email newsletter too, so that you're always up to date with Framingham news in focus. Speaking of the planning board, applications for that pair of openings on the board, as well as additional municipal groups and committees, are open now. Residents are invited to submit themselves for consideration to the planning board through Sunday, January 25th. Another open role with a deadline on the 25th is a spot on the local school building committee, as one resident is needed to fill a seat following a resignation. The group helps the city throughout its process of working alongside state officials to develop a new Southside elementary school. There's one spot on the board of cemetery trustees, as officials are looking to complete an unexpired term. Friday the 30th is the deadline to apply for that spot. Adults are not the only folks being sought, as applications to join the Framingham Youth Council are open as well. Open for residents or voters aged 13 to 22, the group represents younger residents during meetings, debates, and conversations as they advise elected officials about what matters to that age group within the city. The deadline to submit an application to the Youth Council is Saturday, January 31st. Lastly, there's one more local group looking for assistance. The Framingham Blazers Band, a community group that was initially founded in the 1960s, is back. Musicians of all skill levels who play concert and marching instruments who want to make music, meet people from across the community, and add to Framingham's arts scene are invited to join. For more details, email framinghamblazersband@gmail.com. Again, that's framinghamblazersband@gmail.com. A 2-alarm fire broke out at 90 Arlington Street last Friday morning, January 9th. The Framingham Fire Department reported that 8 individuals were displaced by the blaze as crews were called to the 3-story wood frame building at about 10:30 a.m. Chief Michael Dutcher said no individuals were hurt and 3 dogs were rescued, though unfortunately a pair of cats died in the fire. The American Red Cross was called upon to assist those who were displaced. The cause of the blaze is under investigation. USA Luge confirmed on Tuesday, January 13th, that a local athlete will be competing in the Winter Olympics next month. 21-year-old Ansel Haukshaw of Framingham made the roster, as he's set to travel to Milan for the 25th Winter Games. A gold medalist in the 2024 Junior World Championships and the 2025 America Pacific Championship, Ansel will be competing alongside Marcus Mueller in the men's doubles event. The opening ceremony of the Winter Games will take place on Friday, February 6th in Milan. Luge events begin the next day and will continue through Thursday the 12th. The Frame would like to congratulate Ansel. Be sure to tune into next week's episode to hear more from the hometown hero about his story leading up to the Olympics. And finally this week, our latest frame-by-frame segment. In the wake of the killing of Renee Good in Minneapolis, protests related to U.S. immigration and customs enforcement operations have emerged nationwide. For months now, though, local citizens have stood out in front of a building along Speen Street to bring attention to the presence of ICE's Intensive Supervision Appearance Program within Framingham. It's designed to be an alternative to detention, where private contractors monitor and surveil undocumented people, while those within the program are meant to check in continuously, though others have said people in the program have indeed been detained at the local office in the past. Here's a preview of our story.
Inhumanity is happening consistently, basically every day, in this office in Framingham. It feels remarkably infuriating that folks are being told that they have to come, and so they're doing what they're told that they need to do in order to kind of keep up with this process and avoid detention, but then it is used as a trap to detain people.
It's not about left and right, it's about right and wrong.
As always, that frame-by-frame coverage can be found on our social media pages. Follow @FrameNews_ on Instagram, and you can find us on Facebook by searching for The Frame. Subscribe to Access Framingham's YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever new content goes live. Follow us on Spotify as well, where we post full Frame episodes for you to watch or listen to. That will do it for this week's Framingham News in Focus. For our entire team here at The Frame, thanks for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.